I am JDWolf, and welcome to my XCOM Enemy Within Long War Abilities Overview of version 3.0 Beta 9A to Beta 11. Beta 10 was released a short while ago, and it had a couple of pretty major bugs with it. Those bugs have since been fixed, and Beta 11 was released, so that's why we've skipped directly from 9A to Beta 11. Now, these changes do affect the abilities that I've just gone through for version 9A, so what I'm going to do in this video is take you through each class, highlight what changes have been made, and how my selection of what I would take on a typical soldier differs from what was in the previous video to what would apply to Beta 11. So the first class we're going to talk about is the Sniper. At the top you can see Long War 3.0 Beta 9A, and at the bottom is the new Long War 3.0 Beta 11 abilities. So the first thing I'm going to do is highlight the changes that have been made, and as you can see, they've made a lot of changes. Most notably at the bottom, you will see at the bottom right, In the Zone has now replaced Resilience at the maximum rank for Sniper. So there's going to be some changes. So let me highlight what I selected previously for 9A and what I am recommending now for Beta 11. Okay, so the way I've done it here is everything in green has not changed. Everything in dark blue is items that I have selected previously, just their position in the rankings have changed. You get them either earlier or later than you would otherwise. And the blue-green, light blue, cyan color is for items that have changed. So let's talk about each rank. First you get Squad Sight, of course, same thing. Now they've replaced Damn Good Ground with Lone Wolf, but low profile is still at that rank, and I still prefer low profile. On the next one, Headshot has been renamed Precision Shot. It's the same ability. However, Executioner has been replaced with Snapshot. And as a result, I believe Snapshot is more valuable than Precision Shot or Headshot. So I am changing my recommendation for the third rank to be Snapshot. Now the next one has completely changed. Lone Wolf Ranger and Bring 'em On has been changed to Damn Good Ground, Sharpshooter, and Executioner. Just between Damn Good Ground, Sharpshooter, and Executioner, I'm really tempted to take Sharpshooter because it allows you to hit guys that are in full cover. And Damn Good Ground's pretty good. But Executioner, you do, I think, an extra 50% damage for guys that are below 50% health, something like that. Extra damage to guys that are already wounded pretty severely. And some of these guys end up with really big hit points. And within the zone coming later, Executioner could meld pretty well with that. So I'm going with Executioner for that rank. The next one used to be Sharpshooter, Disabling Shot, Lock and Load. And that has changed to Aggression, Ranger, and Lock and Load. So between those, I'm going to pick Aggression, even though Lock and Load is tempting because it does allow you to reload and still shoot. The next rank was Vital Point Targeting, Snapshot, and Packmaster. Now it's Vital Point Targeting, Bring 'em On, and Disabling Shot. So between those three, I think it's no contest. I'm going to go with Disabling Shot, even though Bring 'em On does more damage. Disabling Shot is very useful against Sectopods. Finally, the last rank, Double Tap, Mayhem, and In the Zone. Now, while Double Tap does give you 2 shots every time, I have recently become very enamored with In the Zone. And for a sniper to get in the zone, if he can kill them while they're exposed, he can get more than 2 shots in. And it doesn't cool down. It gives a complete free shot. The sniper can then still overwatch or move or reload or whatever needs to happen. So that's my pick for Beta 11. Squad Sight, Low Profile, Snapshot, Executioner, Aggression, Disabling Shot, and In the Zone. The flip side of the Sniper is the Scout. And the changes that have been made, as you can see, are the bottom 2 rows, the top 2 ranks basically, have been completely flipped and swapped within. They are identical, but they have been flipped. Consequently, my recommendations for this class have not changed. The only difference is that In the Zone comes 1 rank later, and Vital Point Targeting comes 1 rank earlier. Next up we have the Infantry class, one of my favorites. As you can see, nothing has changed, therefore there are no changes to my recommendations. Next up we have the Assault class, one of my least favorites. As you can see, it has been overhauled quite a bit, but a lot of this is just rearranging of the ranks at which you get certain abilities. So let's go through these and see what has changed. First we have Run and Gun, that hasn't changed. The next, looks like the row Steadfast Close Combat Flush is now Flush Close Combat Steadfast. It's the same thing. I still recommend Close Combat Specialist. The next is Gunslinger, Grenadier, and Aggression. Grenadier has been traded out for Tactical Sense. So I would, instead of Aggression, I would go ahead and change that to Tactical Sense, which we were getting one rank later. We're going to get that at a little slightly earlier rank. The next rank, Ranger, Killer Instinct, Tactical Sense, has been swapped out for Rapid Fire, Close Encounters, and Extra Conditioning. Now, Rapid Fire, we were going to get that at the last rank. Instead, we get it much earlier. Close Encounters is the same as Close and Personal, what it used to be called, but I believe Rapid Fire is more valuable than that. The next rank, Ranger, Killer Instinct, Will to Survive. Out of those three, I really think Will to Survive is the better. Ranger gives you an extra point of damage. Killer Instinct, you get double crit damage on Run and Gun, but Will to Survive, when you're going up there and getting flanked, that'd be better. Previously at that rank we got Lightning Reflexes, which would be, above that. But at this rank I'm going to go ahead and change my recommendation there to Will to Survive. The next one, they swapped out Resilience for Deep Pockets. I'm just going to go with Sprinter. And the last one, we get the Lightning Reflexes down there instead of the Rapid Fire. So they have kind of swapped places a little bit, even though Rapid Fire is even earlier than we were getting the Lightning Reflexes. The problem I have with the one in 9A is I get Lightning Reflexes a little late, and still his Run and Gun, he gets shot in the back. Here he's getting Lightning Reflexes as the last thing, so just never use Run and Gun on this guy. I don't know how to get him to survive. I always get myself in a bad situation with these guys. So if anybody has any better recommendations for how to build an assault, please leave that in the comments below. The next class is the Gunner class, and as you can see, the only thing that they've changed is at the 5th rank, instead of Packmaster, they have swapped that out for Ready for Anything. What Ready for Anything is that if you do not move and you fire, you are automatically on Overwatch for the next turn. So what I'm going to recommend for this one is two different types of setups. The first type is exactly what I had recommended previously, except for instead of taking Danger Zone, which basically for this guy is only increasing the area of effect of his suppression. And while it's nice to suppress more than one guy at a time, and I've used that in the past, I've decided to change my actual recommendation to Executioner at that level. So I didn't take Packmaster before. I'm not taking Ready for Anything this time, but I am changing my original recommendation from Danger Zone to Executioner. My second set of recommendations is for a gunner that has a high aim, and if you want to take advantage of that ability to not move, shoot, and then automatically go into Overwatch, I'm going to recommend, if you want to take that, let's go ahead and change some stuff around. First, at our 2nd rank, instead of taking Hollow Targeting, we're going to take Covering Fire to get that Overwatch to have a little bit better ability. We're going to keep the heat ammo and the Executioner that I mentioned earlier. We're going to go with Ready for Anything instead of Double Tap. All Double Tap allows you to do is shoot twice, and I've used that a lot. But if I'm now changing it to Executioner, hopefully I will be able to take down guys that are damaged, still automatically go into Overwatch. Still on Resilience, and now instead of Mayhem doing extra damage, I'm going to take Sentinel so that I can have 2 of those Overwatch shots. So I can fire once and then Overwatch twice, even if they come up to the edge of the vision and try to shoot at me. I'll have that Covering Fire and the Sentinel together with Ready for Anything. But I would only recommend doing that if you have a high aim, because you do not have the Opportunist perk. Next up is the Rocketeer class. As you can see, the changes that have been made are to the last 3 ranks. So here are my recommendations. Instead of Danger Zone has gone away from the 5th rank, replaced by Ready for Anything. I'm going to recommend let's go ahead and take Ready for Anything. That's the shoot and automatically overwatch. I still like that better than Will to Survive or Ranger. The top 2 ranks, I think I may have this messed up a little bit, but the gist is that previously we were going with Mayhem and Javelin Rockets, because at the top rank we had to choose between Javelin Rockets and Rocketeer. Now we can get Javelin Rockets 1 rank earlier and still get Rocketeer, get that extra rocket in there. The downside is that we have to give up Mayhem, which is doing extra damage for our rockets. So we get an extra rocket, we can shoot them across the map, we just don't get Mayhem. I still believe that Javelin Rockets and Rocketeer is going to be the better way to go than to take Mayhem instead of Javelin Rockets and limit the range on those rockets. Next up is the Medic. There have been 2 abilities that have been shuffled around and 2 that have been added. So the recommendations, still Field Medic, Smoke Grenade. Revive has been pushed down and is now replaced with Paramedic. What Paramedic allows you to do is 1 free use of a med kit. Very powerful and very welcome, so that you can still use the med kit and fight. The next, I'm going to still stick with Dense Smoke. They've replaced Lock and Load with Ranger. I'm still with the Dense Smoke. The next rank, we used to be able to have Opportunist at that rank, and now we have to choose between Revive, Suppression, and Opportunist, and I have to go with Revive. If he's going to be a medic, a paramedic out there, I'm going to have to go with that. However, the next one is a difficult choice. You have Sprinter, Extra Conditioning, and instead of Resilience, we now have to choose, we have the choice of Ready for Anything. And I think even though I like Sprinter having the extra movement, Ready for Anything, the ability to shoot and then go into Overwatch, is more valuable than the extra movement, especially for the role that the medic is going to be playing. And the last rank has not changed. Our final class is the Engineer. There are 2 changes that have been made. Ranger has been moved up and Ready for Anything has been put down there. It really doesn't change my recommendations for the class. However, I do want to mention that with Grenadier you get 2 grenades, and then with Packmaster at the bottom you get 3 grenades. So you can have an Engineer carrying 6 frag grenades to try to take down the cover. At the same time, that same Engineer, if he did not take those grenades, he could take Repair, which bumps up the uses of your arc thrower from 1 to 3 uses, and then Packmaster bumps it up to 4. So if he takes 2 arc throwers, he can have 8 repairs. And I had some success last time taking 2 Engineers that had these abilities, one with 6 grenades and one with 8 shots on his arc throwers. So one was clearing him out, clearing out the cover and whittling him down, while the other was moving in and taking him down. Now what you could do is take some of these other abilities. You know, you take Repair and Packmaster, but don't worry about Bombardier, don't worry about Sapper, and take all gun. And then on the other one, don't take Repair, and instead take like Tactical Sense or something like that. That is one way to do it, but if you do, then you are limiting that Engineer's role, and he can't go from carrying a whole bunch of grenades to carrying a whole bunch of arc thrower charges. So I would recommend staying with this and making him be able to do both roles. But I just wanted to mention that to you guys. So that is my overview of the abilities for Beta 11. Please like this video, subscribe, tell your friends, and until next time, stay safe.